a good rule of thumb, a good guideline to follow when a partner asks you for help.
Mm-hmm.
Blow the whistle. So they'll say, partner, help. You'll blow the whistle, say the color while you point. So it's those three things. So Emily, help. Doo-doo, white. And when you're asking for help, do it confidently. Don't do it loud, because that shows confidence. It shows that you don't know and you're not guessing. And I'm okay with asking my partner for help, and everybody here can hear it because I have nothing to hide. I didn't know who the ball went out on. Partner, help. And then that quick transfer of responsibility, whistle, color, point. It looks really, really smooth. So I wanted to give you this opportunity if you had any more follow-up questions about your game or just about refereeing in general. How else can I help?
What would you give advice in my first year trying to do high school and college? Because I am trying to figure out how I'm going to keep the two straight. I kind of want to do high school games as if I were doing a college game.
You could do both. You could absolutely do both. I mean, there's thousands of officials throughout the country that do both high school and college. So this is your first year refereeing in high school. Are you nervous about juggling like those two games and it messing you up?
Yeah, I'm nervous about doing a college game, doing high school games Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday doing college games and communicating that with both commissioners, even though our schedules are going to be out for, well, you hope, kind of in advance. And then, yeah,
well, as far
I don't know how to, I don't want to make it my commissioner's problem on the other end, because I don't have I'm not going to have enough income from college to give up high school.
Right.
So.
You don't have to give up high school, but.
Right.
I mean, you have to do ultimately what's best for you, and whether it's financially speaking, that's okay. That's your decision. Or if it's, you know, with the hopes of moving up and climbing up the ladder, that's another thing. As far as your availability, you know, most officials accept their college schedule first, and then they block out on the high school side those dates.
Okay.
If you want to move up, you want to continue to add more levels, right? And so that's the way to do it, is to be available for the college.
Yeah, and we're working with 3 different college, you know, leagues.
Okay.
And levels, you know, community colleges and then the 4-year. But as far as rules and how you do the games, I feel like I need to alter some high school game mechanics just as a college mechanic.
Right.
So it's more reps so that I don't go into the next night and start. Even though it's really small stuff, like even one of your podcasts says to start doing more girl mechanics, you know, really your hands.
2-finger point.
Yeah, and then like the retaining line under the basket and the shot clock, that's all new to me.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
But I can't call that in high school, so.
You're going to call it in college. It's just a natural evolution to what you're doing.
Okay.
You're taking on, you know, new responsibilities, new levels. You're moving up. So there's more to it. And you're fully capable of handling a new game and a new rule book. It's just simply going to take work ethic and execution, of meaning you're out there doing games and you're talking about plays with your partners, you're reviewing the games, you're watching the film, but I don't think you're going to have a problem. I want you to focus on college. I want you to focus on learning the college game. If you make a mistake in a high school game, if you use a college signal in a high school game, it's much better than using a high school signal in a college game.
Yeah. Okay. I need to work on my pregame.
Okay.
When I'm with officials who are confident in a pregame, I'm better at pregaming. But when I'm with officials that either don't want to listen or they're like a lot older than me, so they have 15 years of experience and they don't want to do a pregame and they don't want to hear it, but I'm like, let's do one. What do you do?
It's a tough spot. It's a tough spot because I know what it's like on the high school level. again, I just want to point the difference between college and high school. You're not going to find that too much as you move up in college.
Okay.
In college, we all have pre-games. There's, very rarely, unless you're with your best friends for like a really low level game on a
Yeah.
Monday night where you guys just worked over the weekend and you don't really necessarily need to pre-game chops in. But if I were you, I would just lead with doing things the right way and kind of picking your spots and knowing who your partners are. Listen, if you know you're working with this older gentleman who's been reffing 72 years and he hasn't done a pregame in 25 years, then you're not going to do a pregame for the night. It's okay. You just, he wins. You can mention it.
I'd just rather have a little bit of reps so that it's like almost practice, so that if I do have games on the weekend, then I can like not be the one that's like, oh my gosh, I don't know what a pregame is. Yeah. Or
but maybe you can be the person to change that older gentleman into doing a pregame with your energy. Maybe you're the counter. So, if I were you, I would go in doing things the right way every pregame.
That is one thing that I have minimal to none that I'm like, need to get it.
What, as far as like your pregame instruction and the ability to lead a pregame? That's okay.
Yes.
That's okay. You probably haven't led a ton of them. It's just, once again, it comes down to experience. I have a pregame checklist that I could send you. I put out a pregame card every year and I take it with me to my games and I kind of run through it. I read it right off my phone. There's a lot of good information in there. So I'll send you my pregame checklist and you could kind of use it as an overlay, or if you find something interesting, it could be a good talking point for your pregames. But back to the point about, pregaming and some difficulties you find, don't be discouraged that people aren't on your level as far as your hunger and desire to do things the right way. Don't let that influence you in a negative way. You're doing the right thing. You do the right thing for the right reasons and you live with the results.
Okay. And then this might be an odd question, but as far as gear, like what if I want to change up my pants and things like that?
All right, you're back, Blue.
Holy moly, I don't know what happened there.
No worries.
Okay. Gear. I don't know where to get gear.
Well, there's many online retailers that can provide you with the necessary gear. Do you want me to give you a couple websites?
Yeah.
This episode of the Crown Refs podcast is sponsored by refereestore.com. At refereestore.com, we know that being a referee is not just a job, it's a lifestyle. And that's why we make it easy for you to find the right referee shirts, pants, and accessories for your games. Looking to stand out? We carry referee-designed products you cannot find anywhere else. We carry gear for football, soccer, hockey, baseball, and basketball referees designed to meet all required standards. This month, refereestore.com is offering a 15% discount for all listeners of the Crown Refs podcast. Just enter coupon code CROWN15 at checkout, then click apply to get your 15% off your next order. So if you're buying gear for this season, I don't know what your situation is, but definitely take advantage of that Crown Refs discount. Refereestore.com and Crown Refs, serving the game. What are you saying as far as the pants?
Pants. I feel like I need new pants.
Well, the key for me with pants is getting the dry fit, like athletic look, and then getting them hemmed.
Okay, I have pleats.
Pleats, okay.
Like the pleat and the whatever. They look like dress pants, and I don't want them.
Yeah, they're a very antiquated look. They're baggy too, right?
Yeah, I had them tailored, but I don't like them.
Yeah, so I would get, I forget the name of the material, but it's more of like a dry fit pant.
Yeah, okay.
It's not like a dress pant. It's more of a gym pant.
Okay.
And I would try getting those hemmed.
Yeah.
It's a really athletic look. What else were you about to say? About to say something else?
Can you explain more to me about verbal judo?
Sure. Did you listen?
I'm really interested in it.
Great. I'm really interested in talking about it. Did you hear any of the podcasts?
Yes. And I'm around like episode 50, but you talk about a book.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh, I better get on that. And then throughout your podcast, you use it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so basically I was an official, I was a D3 official like 3, 4, 5 years ago, and I noticed one thing in my game that lacked was my ability to communicate and really run a game and really have that command to get people to comply with what I'm asking. I had found it really difficult until that point. I had noticed a couple officials had mentioned verbal judo, and I'm happy they did as a way to really improve as a communicator. The book was
Okay.
written by a cop who used to deal with negotiations and like hostage negotiations. So it's communication under duress in hostile situations. So I think it really applies to helping basketball officials because although it's not life and death, it does get intense. It does get, the moments get real hot, you know? And you have to be able to craft words in a small amount of time sometimes in order to help manage the game. So Verbal Judo is a great book that really improved my communication under pressure. And that's
Okay.
something that I always connected as far as being a basketball official and verbal judo. So that's kind of been my communication style. And once I read the book, I remember I went away to a tournament a couple weeks later, and I just felt like I had new abilities, like straight up. I
Ah,
had new skills. And I
wow.
just tried to improve on that since then. So much. So I've been so dedicated to verbal judo. I had them on my podcast. So I went and found the author. I found him on Facebook. He's Jerry Jenkins. He's written New York Times bestsellers. He's a wonderful speaker.
Wow.
So he didn't write he didn't create the book, but he was the author of it. So I had him on, and he was able to give me kind of his version of verbal judo and hit on all the main points. So that was really cool. And then I actually, on the next episode, brought in a verbal judo instructor because they do classes and clinics worldwide, communication classes. They work with a lot of law enforcement agencies, but also many other agencies that are, you know, like corporate. They have corporate classes.
Wow.
Communication is such a big aspect of life. So, you know, they're a communication institute that I collaborated with that has been very beneficial to me. So if I would recommend, you know, reading the actual book, Verbal Judo, and read it under the referee kind of microscope. So you're
Okay.
taking what he's talking about that's not relevant, you know, to basketball, or it's not about basketball, but you can make it relevant to officiating. So
Okay.
yeah, that's what Verbal Judo is.
Very cool. Well, I am so happy I reached out to you. I think you're doing some pioneering things. I know people are kind of buzzing, like, what are you doing? So I
Getting
was
better.
like, well,
You're growing.
yeah. And you've broadened my horizon of like the country. So little ranch girl over here. But yeah, I'm trying to make both lifestyles work. So I don't want to give it up. I've been doing it for like 8 years, and it's just kind of gaining momentum. But I'm also I'm a cattle girl, so it's really cool to see the transparency that you built. And
Thank you so much for saying that.
yeah,
And you can wear many hats. You know, you can wear many hats. You don't have to just be a ranch girl. You know, you could be a ranch girl and a great referee and 100 other things. So, but
cool.
I'm glad I've been able to inspire you, and looking forward to helping you. You know, after this, feel free to send me more plays if you have, and any random questions that you have. You know, you have someone in me who's interested in answering them. So feel free to shoot them my way, even if it's a
Okay.
question about, you know, where to buy gear or how to.
Seriously.
It's okay. It's okay. So
Okay, I might be sending some people your way.
I appreciate that. Please do.
Yeah.
Did you like the IPR picture I made for you?
Yes.
Oh, that was
So
nice, right?
they asked about it, and yeah, those the marketing or the digital design, whatever you use, it's sharp.
All right, awesome. Good. Glad.
So
Well, thank you so much, Emily. Have a
thank
good
you.
rest of
Have a
your
great
night.
night.
I'll talk to you soon. All right. Let's stay in touch.
Okay. Bye.
All right. Take care.
Thank you for listening to the Crown Refs Podcast. Serve the game.